Hey everyone, this is Jargonaught, also known as Chestnut, and it's been a while, almost 3 years actually, since I last recorded. We're gonna kick it off again with 5-minute Blitz video. Um, in those last 3 years, I have only managed to go up 250 rating points, as far as Blitz goes. I was up to 1800, a little, lower 1800s. But for some reason, since I got to that, I was never able to keep it at that, and I went down pretty fast from that point, which is okay. I mean, I can't complain. I did start off late in my, usual chess career. So, let's get this going. Got BatmanPrince, rate 1686. Um, Generally, these days I'm usually around 1675. Just played a couple warm-up games and I won a couple of them. So this will, test. I do still want to get to a 2000 rating or so. It'd be great. And we're playing the Scandinavian defense. John Bartholomew's favorite. I don't know about my position. Going to connect my rooks. I wonder what side he's gonna castle on. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that. And I should defend my pawn. Because he's about to win that. I'm gonna have to consider doubling of the pawns on the front of the king, which kinda sucks, but what happens when I play poorly? Maybe he doesn't want to take. I see that if it takes, he can possibly push. Castling queenside. Okay, I have a lot of space on that side, but can I actually use it? I'm gonna go ahead and get my queen off that diagonal, but then no, he doesn't have bishop there because his bishop's hanging. Plus I could take with this. But now I can get pressure on this backwards pawn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can push my book if knight over here. Ooh, this threatens a pin. Or, I'm sorry, a fork. I'm going to go ahead and attack the rook and get the bishop off that. And then I gotta get tempo on the queen, threatening knight to f7. So, either way, I'm okay. And now I'm okay to play this move. And to win a pawn, he might pull his bishop back. But I do have pressure here, and I think I can win a pawn here, but I do have to be a little careful because the bishop might get trapped. I'm gonna go ahead and takes with the knight first. Huh. Alright, so I still get a pawn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and he has to take. And I'm doing okay. I'm definitely doing okay. I'm up a pawn. I'm going to play that, but I can get a tempo on his H pawn. Okay. And double up my rooks. It does have this little scary pawn action going, but I think I'm okay. Maybe I should push here so that I can, no. Let's just, put pressure on the bishop. Doesn't have a lot of squares to go to. So I think, I'm gonna end up, forcing that exchange. And an extra pawn island on his king. He's on the black side, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and get my king centralized. His is just about, but I think I need this extra move here. No, I'll be fine with this. I think, I'm not super accurate in the end game, but I can get something going. I think that might be a mistake. I'm gonna go ahead and play on the king side now. I have enough defenders on the queen side. And okay. I'm going to take there. I'm going to move my king over on the queen side now. So I got to change the plans. Stop that. And I'm going to use my extra pawn as a leverage. And I should be able to win this pawn next. And with that, that should be the game. I mean, I do have to play it out and win without blundering. Okay, now I'm gonna have a passed pawn. I'm gonna go ahead and win this, and then, depending on what he does, either push the pawn and he resigned. So, except he's challenging me to a rematch, I'm gonna go ahead and decline because I do want to analyze the game. I think we played pretty fast in that game. Back to e4. So if e4, d5, e takes d5, the Scandinavian again. Attacking the queen, and this is a much less played line by black. I don't see this very often, but after this I just continue to play normally. I haven't really looked into much of opening theory, which might be very helpful in increasing my rating, actually. Everything developed. And I think right now I'm okay. I felt I was okay. That's computer's giving me a 1-point advantage in this position with d5. I'm a lot more developed. I mean, I have my rook and queen that can come into the action right away. I had my dark squared bishop. I do not know why I played a3 there. Doesn't seem like a very accurate move. Though my bishop, I did want to end up putting it on the g3 square eventually. That was part of my plan. Since the queen didn't have a lot of squares to go to, and this will make it more passive, not letting it get to the queen side via f4 and h6. but he prevented his own h6 idea anyway. So we moved back, and I guess black has managed to more or less equalize. And yeah, this is where I felt I made a big mistake. He ended up giving up this advantage. I think I needed to do something else. Well, let's go back to that and see what I could have done. Instead of queen to d2. So d5. I still like d5. It was in front of my face for a couple of moves, and I just missed that. I think the idea is that after d5, you're not really losing anything with it, since my bishop is on the pawn. Well, didn't mean to do that. So I conceded here a move, and I thought, something had to give. Losing a whole pawn is not very helpful. And then, yeah, I didn't play very accurately. I'm only 1600, 1700. So castle's queenside, which I thought eventually maybe I can start pushing with b4, b5, if it ever got to that point. But he didn't want to take the knight. I thought for sure he'd take the knight and double up my pawns in front of the king, and then he can go ahead and do a pawn storm, tsunami style. So he defended here, which I thought wasn't very good. And I did originally want to move my knight to e5 right away, but I didn't like the look of bishop to g5. I want to have to push pawns in front of my king just to keep my queen centralized. So I did notice the weakness on e6 and an x-ray on the bishop if the knight ever moved. So started applying pressure along that semi-open file. And now with this move, he doesn't have the bishop g5 idea, so I used that. Plus, he was starting to play f4, forking my bishop and queen. And he just moved it. So the threat here was, and maybe I should have played it. Yeah, the computer likes it. Bishop g7, rook g8, knight e5, knight takes e5. And then queen takes, I'm guessing. Bishop, oh, just the bishop takes back. I have centralized bishop. Okay. That kind of makes sense. I wasn't really sure about taking the pawn in front of my king anyway, since his rooks are able to come over. Bishops do a good job controlling the diagonals, though. Knight d2, starting to win a pawn. Knight takes e5. Oh. Ouch, that would have been nasty, but didn't see that. Knight takes e5, bishop e2 is on my bishop. And I can't take his. Okay. Wow. Missed that move. Bishop. So I took, and he took my knight, because he probably did see the bishop move. So he took Bishop b3. Yeah, I guess that works. Didn't have to trade here. I would have just won the pawn. And the bishop, like I said again, doesn't have a lot of squares to go. His dark squared bishop, well, I guess the way I kind of see it too is opposite squared bishops usually drawing, and you know, it just kind of gets into amateurs' heads like mine that probably not going to do well. So he traded banking on this tempo, but then I had a better tempo attacking the pawn. Now I was able to double the rooks, king to d7, which was accurate for him, but I'm up a pawn, so I should be the only one playing for a win at this point. Rook f to e8, rook to d, rook d to e8, which I don't think makes much of a difference. Trade off all pieces, and you know, I think without the rooks on the board, this definitely should be winning. You know, reckon you make a mistake. You know, we always have to centralize our kings. So I made the open diagonal for my king to go on, and he brought his king to the center, following some fundamentals. I think maybe f4 check. Yeah, I didn't like that move at first, and I can see why. He played f4. That was my wife texting me. And then I would have had to just move my king to d3. In my head, I was thinking I was going to play king to e4, but then allows another tempo by him, which would not have been too good with an extra pawn. So I'm glad I still didn't do that. Maybe I should look out, but I should still be fine. And h4. That's interesting. King to c6. And the computer likes the position a lot more. I just evened out the king side so that there was no tricky business. I know there's a lot of tricks you can do with the 3-on-3, although the kings are too close for those tricks to work. He played pick, so I just took. I knew that after he took, I just moved my king over, and that he can't keep his king, and he wanted to infiltrate with his king. But I know that I have enough going for me to win this. So I just traded here, and there's going to be no way for his king to get in unless he wants to run all the way to the king side. But then he really can't do that, or else I win the f-pawn, which I was going to win anyway. And this should, end of the game. I should be able to promote one of my past pawns to the c and f pawn, and I am threatening to win the h pawn as well. My opponent resigned. There's too many threats on the board. He can prevent the f pawn from promoting, but he can't prevent the c pawn from promoting, or vice versa. Thanks for watching. I will try to be uploading more soon.